good idea on what MMA is, how it began, and what the rules are. Because we're going to have a quick test when you get back to the academy. So make sure you watched and paid attention. So, as a quick recap, MMA is the ultimate combat sport. MMA involves using the techniques from every other martial art, including boxing, wrestling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, kickboxing, Muay Thai, any martial art you can think of, taking the best techniques from those and leaving what doesn't work in a real fight. MMA fights can be won three ways. By knockout, which happens when you knock somebody unconscious or you beat them into a position where they're not completely unconscious but they can't defend themselves intelligently any longer. You can also win by submission, also known as tapping out. When you get caught in a joint lock or a choke, something where if you don't give up, you're either going to be choked unconscious or you're going to have a limb broken, that's winning via submission. You can also win by decision. If it's gone the entire length of the fight and there hasn't been a finish, a knockout or submission, then it will go to the judges' scorecards where they will tally up all the judges' points and decide who the winner is going to be. Fighting has been around since the dawn of time. In the early days of Greek pancration, okay, that's about the closest thing we've ever had to the sport of MMA. But up until 1993, MMA as a sport has never been regulated, so it's still fairly new. You're technically a pioneer of the sport, so carry that with honor. By now you should also know how important the Gracie family has been to modern martial arts as well as mixed martial arts, the sport. With their family coming up with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, modifying Japanese Jiu-Jitsu to make it available for people of smaller stature, as well as athletes that are at the peak of their game. Okay? These techniques can be used by anybody. And up until the Gracie family came around, everybody thought that the fancy-looking, striking styles were going to be the most dominant form of martial arts. UFC 1 proved that to be different. Royce Gracie, the smallest competitor in the tournament, was able to defeat much larger, much faster, much more athletic opponents using this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that his family created. If any of this or some of this doesn't sound familiar, make sure you go back through and watch the videos that correspond to where your lack of knowledge is. Until next time, this is Matt. Be prepared for that test.